Let's compare ourselves to our neighbor to our north, Canada. In 2015, they got Justin Trudeau's version of progressive governance, and we got Trump's populism. And even with the Biden interregnum, America has surged past them. Start with income. Americans are dramatically wealthier than Canadians, and the gap, that's only widening. Even Canada's own press has to admit that Canada, on average, is poorer than, wait for it, Alabama. Well, they're not tied with Alabama. They're behind Alabama. Same population as Alberta, but lower unemployment, stronger industry, and more production in Alabama. Today, we learned that Mercedes-Benz is investing $4 billion in the state, with more than $7 billion planned across U.S. operations. Wow. So Canada's losing jobs to the deep south of America. The same deep south, by the way, that snooty Canadian elites love to look down on. And Canada's response is apparently to sell out to the communist Chinese. They're opening their automobile market to Chinese EVs at preferential rates. What could go wrong? Canada has gone from declaring China as their biggest security threat to this.
I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order.
New world order. It's the worst. So this is kind of Carney's way of sticking his finger in Trump's eye.
Canada doesn't live because of the United States. Canada thrives because we are Canadian.
The old relationship we had with the United States, based on deepening integration of our economies and tight security and military cooperation, is over.
This is suicidal. Now imagine thinking that your economic lifeline would come from a communist regime. At what price, Mark? But Canada also has a literal death wish. They're killing off their undesirables. Of course, they're not alone in the euthanasia market. Spain should be ashamed of itself as well. These are not policies, by the way, of a hopeful, culturally vibrant, spiritually intact society. Of course, if you disagree with any of this, you think it's demonic, you better watch your step, though, because you might find yourself at odds with the Canadian Human Rights Commission. Remember how Pretty Boy Trudeau treated the Canadian truckers? They were punished for their activism until a court stepped in and reversed Trudeau's harsh move as illegal.